Hello there, Austin.
Hi, Asha. How's it going over there in Abuja?
Very well, very well. Thank you very much for talking to us live from Osun. Okay, now, you monitored the inconclusive election. What led to this declaration?
Simply, it's all over the news. Results were not recorded in 7 polling units in 4 local government areas of the state. Particularly, there were 2 units, very interestingly, that presiding officers were involved, INEC officials were involved. In one particular unit, INEC official has gone to tear up and destroy the from ECHA, that is the result sheet. And obviously, that may have been an intentional move, maybe to achieve certain purpose. And I think the purpose was achieved because the unit results, the election conducted in that particular unit was cancelled. Then another unit where the presiding officer diverted with materials. I mean, that's very shocking, even though those materials had tracking devices on them. So one would have expected for INEC to know where exactly those materials have been taken to, and police officers promptly mobilized to track down those materials and recover them. However, I just don't know why, at what point the presiding officer was alone with those materials. They were usually escorted from the local government areas to the rack centers with police officials. So I wonder at what point. I don't have the answers, but I'm just thinking what may have happened. Is it that he ran away and the police couldn't catch him or something? Then there were other areas where the presiding officers had undermined the smart card reader, deliberately avoided using it, even though the information we got was that the smart card reader failed, and then the presiding officer and the team switched over to manual accreditation, which is contrary to procedure. What we'll be thinking is, did this official ever attended this training? So the total number of votes that were cancelled is over 3,000, and the difference in the votes between PDP and APC is about 300. So the procedure, according to INEC, who is empowered by the Electoral Act to generate policies, regulations, and manual for elections, had part of their regulation for elections that where the difference between the winner and the second runner-up is less than the areas where votes are cancelled, then that election is inconclusive. That is what has happened in Osun State.
All right, Austin. Now, does declaring this election inconclusive in some way deprive, the electorate of the franchise, rather, of the electorate?
Not exactly, because those areas where their votes were not counted, that is where the vote will not happen on Thursday. Okay. So it's not really depriving anyone, but the differences between the winner and the second runner-up was large enough. Election would have been, the results would have been declared, and the winner would have been declared today.
All right. Let's talk a bit about what has been trending, vote buying. How did INEC in this election curb that? Was there a presence of it, or was it lesser than we had in the past?
First time, INEC did an very improved and commendable layout of the polling unit. Vote buying was highly minimal. In fact, we didn't see money like we saw in Ekiti, in Osun State. So I'm sure when the electoral management body did come out strong that they were going to make a big statement, political parties had also developed a new strategy. But the strategy we know by coming to the polling unit with large sums of money was not in Ekiti, in Osun State. However, we suspect, because of what we had people said, that many people had received alerts a day before the elections, which encouraged them to vote for a particular candidate. And in certain areas, people were meant to actually swear some kind of voodoo that if they take money, they were going to vote. So those two were some kind of thing that happened. But we observe in certain units where certain individuals who unknown, because we can't say they are party agents because they didn't have any ID on them. So those individuals were recording names of people who had voted. So I'm sure they don't know whom they voted for, because as at this time, the cubicle, that's the voting point, was a bit more secretive, unlike in Ekiti. Even though there were units in Osun State where the cubicle was exposed to exposition to vote, where onlookers could easily see what people were voting. Overall, I think I give it to INEC by the new layout it has introduced.
Okay. Now, from your observations, what would you say should be what effect should be put in place before the rerun on Thursday?
Very importantly, I think, personally, I would suggest that INEC begin to, as much as possible, do prosecute everyone who was responsible for ballot paper theft or the destruction of ballot papers, and specifically the prisoners who made away with the electoral materials. It is important that INEC shows some high level of transparency and integrity by pursuing and prosecuting its officers who were alleged in those malpractices. This is very important, so that people can then begin to have some level of confidence in the electoral management body.
All right, Austin, finally, having observed the process, in majority of the words that the results were not, cancelled, what does this say for 2019?
With Osun, I would say we are ready for 2019. INEC is ready, but we're still learning certain process. But what we are seeing in Osun now, we package it and send it back to INEC for further improvement. But I would argue that with Osun elections, 2019 is ready. And I hope that with what we have seen in Osun is going to repeat in 2019. However, the political party will develop their own strategy to curtail some of this stuff they've learned in Osun State. But I wouldn't expect that party agents will be able to see the voter while voting in the voting booth. I wouldn't expect that. I would expect that the current layout being adopted that is an improvement will be sustained, and then we'll continue to improve on the electoral process. I give 2019, I think, overall, using Osun, not using Ekiti. Ekiti was a complete failure. Using Osun, if we have to use Ekiti as an example, then Osun is a saint. So we can actually adopt the measures in Osun. And overall, I'd like to quickly state that the people of Osun has demonstrated a high level of consciousness for peace. On Thursday last week, while the campaign was still going on, I had observed at the city center where two parties who were campaigning and actually greeted each other when they met. They waved at each other. They're brothers, they're sisters. They don't have to fight. So that is something that is remarkable. And it is different from what was observed in 2014 in the same Osun State, where the tension was so high, hostility was high, people were scared a bit of what was going to happen. But for this one, everywhere was so serene, it was so peaceful. And up to this moment, I think I haven't had any feedback. I'm still in Osun. Nothing suspicious of violence that happened. But everything is working well, and we are going well. And I think I praise the people of Osun for this very giant stride in this process.